Hey Brickmaniacs, welcome back to another Friday SitRep. We got some awesome pre-orders and a new minifig to unveil, so let's dive right into it and start with the D3A1 Type 99, or the Val as the Allies would call it. Very early war dive bomber from the Japanese Imperial Navy. So
beautiful, beautiful wing sweeping on that. Get a good shot of that.
Show off some functions.
Oh yeah, it folds up for carrier storage.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep, carrier dive bomber. So some cool stuff about this model. First of all, as you can probably see, it's a two-person aircraft. So you can customize the back of this canopy to feature either the gun sticking out the back or have it covered like that, all parts included. Also, if you're looking at this roundel here and the numbers, those are the only stickers on the entire aircraft.
Right.
So it's going to have printed roundels here.
So this is the prototype model, just to be clear.
Exactly.
Yes.
Roundels on the bottom.
Nice.
That are printed, all cross element. And then of course, propeller stripes.
Yep, and I got two custom printed minifigures in there.
And a custom cockpit.
Oh yeah, nice. I mean, this is just a solid model and really, really beautiful actually.
So one of the cool things Dan was explaining to me about this model is that, you know, obviously dive bomb, you drop that bomb right here, you're going to have some serious
problems.
Propeller interference. So they had a little bomb trapeze that would help, you know what I mean? To like
clear the propellers,
to drop that thing to help clear it or whatever. And so Dan's got that illustrated in Lego, and I thought that's awesome because we also got the dive brakes on there. So here I'll set it down in kind of a non-accurate view, but good for the camera. So you can capture all those features.
That's it coming right at you. You don't want to see that.
Right, especially if you're looking up. that is a bad time right there. So, and this is a big aircraft. I mean, this is a big plane. There's plenty of room in that cockpit. You can see Dan uses those ninjas, not included.
Not included. Prototype ninjas.
Yeah, prototype ninjas, but it kind of gives them that extra room. You know, because they got that clip on the back, so we make sure that the cockpit is enough. So there you go, D3A1 dive bomber. Next up, continuing our 1941 and Japanese theme, to be totally honest, it's the Type 89 IGO, designed by Mary Wilson.
Yep.
Look at this, is cool. Kind of looks like one of those tanks that might not have an elevating and depressing gun because it's so small.
But it does.
Mary says, nope.
It does.
You're going to get that.
Again, we're seeing the prototype model here.
Just sort of stickers.
No stickers?
No stickers on this whole model. This is all printed when it's done. I'm going to open this little hatch there.
Do you know off the top of your head what's all getting printed?
No.
Okay, I know we do have a custom figure. I think Slam is working on the printed elements for this kit. But I have a brand new tanker in the works for this tank. So.
And this is super, super early war. Like this thing was rolling around, I think, in '37.
Okay.
So like really, really beginning of the Japanese invasion of China, etc. This was an infantry support tank.
But it's a nice solid build. I think Mary did a really great job.
I like the colors. Yeah, we'll hear a little bit more about that when we do our designer check-ins here in a minute. And then finally, we got a new minifig, the British Royal Marines for Desert Storm month.
Yes, so the goal was to just try to capture that quintessential 90s Desert Storm themed British Royal Marine. So we got the aviator shades, we got the 90s mustache going on there. That British, the camouflage pattern, that desert DPM, I think. And then just British specific gear decked out all around.
The helmets are fantastic.
Yeah, brand new 3D printed model, and then printing, like UV printing all over the place on that helmet, just to try to get that pattern on there. So it's a first for a lot of different things. So yeah, that was a challenge to get that helmet to come out, but we got it. And yeah.
Super clean looking figure. So it does not come with that brick arms, but we have that brick arms in stock. Tell me a little bit more about that and how we wish we had made a perfect caliber.
Okay, so we will eventually get to the perfect caliber on that. This gun, what's the name of that gun again? I'm totally blanking on the name of the gun.
It's not the bullpup? Okay, fair
enough. It is a bullpup. I mean, it's a bullpup style gun. I just don't remember the name of the British gun. It's like M2 something, whatever.
Well, tell you what, we'll track it down and it'll be a link in the description.
It's a link in the description, but there is some really cool like green plastic hardware on that gun that maybe someday down the road we will get to making for perfect caliber. Want me to keep going over the figure? Or?
Yeah, it's all good. We'll dive into a little bit more when we do our check-ins.
Sure,
So
sure.
we've shown off everything that we have here now. So now we're going to head over into the design room so that we can hear a little bit more about this from Dan, that from Mary, and you'll talk about those. Okay, we're checking in here with the Type 99, the Val, the D3A1. It's got a whole bunch of awesome names, but Dan's going to tell us a little bit more about this design and what we got going on here. What's some of the features?
This is a Japanese naval dive bomber. It was, like the Japanese equivalent of like say a Stuka, but it's carrier borne.
Hence the little foldy wings up the
Right,
side.
right. It does have the wingtips folds. That's basically sort of fit through the hangar doors and up through the elevators from the below deck. So this particular plane, with the way we have it, is configured to be from the Pearl Harbor attack. This particular plane with that particular tail number was the lead plane of the first group of Japanese dive bombers that attacked Ford Island, basically starting the entire Pearl Harbor. The first dive bombers to attack Pearl Harbor. They attacked Ford Island, the seaplanes that were sitting on the island. And the reason they would attack the seaplanes is because if you have a naval task force out there somewhere launching an attack on you, the first thing you want to do is find out where they are, and those seaplanes would be what they would use to go hunting. So
Yeah, right. So take away the eyes, and then you've got the element of surprise.
So this plane is the lead plane.
I love how we use the ninjas to get space in the cockpit. We
Right,
pointed
right.
that out in the
Those have been
SitRep.
my test pilots for a long time here, but now they're appropriately in a Japanese plane. So you see the bottom, it does have fixed landing gear. These are quite strong. They do have the spats. It does not have foldable landing gear.
Right.
It's just not. They had two when the Japanese Navy was doing their design competition for their dive bombers. The Aichi version, the Aichi model, which is this, they decided to not put folding landing gear. They figured that the weight saved by not having that folding mechanism would actually offset the drag of the spats, the wheels that are permanent.
Oh, makes sense. Okay.
So they left them there. I mean, that was the same. They had that same sort of design compromise with the Stuka. Of course, the American, the Dauntless, is a little bit smaller plane, so it was able to get around that. Does have the one main bomb. It's on the bomb trapeze.
Yes, I love that.
So this is about the launch point. So when it's dropping its bomb, they don't want to drop the bomb through the propeller, so it goes out in this trapeze. Actually, the bomb is built backwards. I just noticed it. Let's fix that. So it goes the other way. So there the bomb is correctly built. Let's put it back in the trapeze. And we'll put it back under the plane.
That's a pretty cool little play function, though.
Yeah, so it comes with one big bomb that would be like a 500-pound bomb, and they have these small little outer bombs on the outer pylons. Those would be about 75 pounds each.
Sure.
In the Pearl Harbor attack, it did not carry those small bombs.
Just the one in the middle.
Right, they had to fly so far from the carriers that they decided more fuel, less bomb load. The cockpit, you can take off this rear part of the canopy. In the real airplane, it would fold inside, but we can't do that.
Yeah, a little Lego customization, very similar to the Helldiver situation, I would assume.
So you have your gun, and you'd see them in the plane. Sometimes you'd have the canopy closed, and I bet you the gun you just pull it inside the airplane because that's a big roomy cockpit.
Yep, sure.
And your second seater, he was the observer. They actually called it an observer. They didn't call him the tail gunner or anything like that. And he had his own, he could be part of the bombing action. And his seat would turn around if he wanted to if
he had to defend.
a need for a tail gunner, or even strafing. He could do a flyby and shoot at things as you're flying by. There are two guns you can't see them in here, but
right.
In the actual airplane, there's two guns above the engine, and they would shoot through the propeller. And there's just two little holes in the front. So I didn't bother doing it because how are you going to represent?
Yeah, they
holes
kind
on
of.
a
Yeah,
black-
right. I know what you mean.
a black surface, but.
They're there.
Right. Some of the other cool things. It has a arrestor hook. This is quite a sturdy plane. So if you want it swooshable, this is it. This is highly swooshable. Everything functions as it should.
Well, and as a dive bomber, it is kind of one of those that you'd have some fun pulling the brakes and diving out of the air.
The dive brakes. So it does that. The planes were designed to dive at a specific speed, and it had sort of automatic air brakes that would regulate you. You dive at a right angle. I think it's a 70-degree angle that they would dive at, and then the air brakes would determine make sure you're at the right speed. All it has to be just right so the bomb lands on target.
Right. Which actually, from what I understand, these were pretty accurate, especially in the hands of skilled Japanese pilots, which, earlier in the war, obviously, they had more skilled pilots.
Well, and they were practiced before the attack on Pearl Harbor. These guys were all over in China doing, actually, fighting against the Chinese. So they spent months and months perfecting the dive bombing techniques. The Americans had no comparable experience. So at the beginning of the war, very few American units were actually trained to dive bomb, and they would glide bomb, which is like a kind of like dive bombing junior, but far less accurate, and you open yourself up to way more, vulnerability. So the rudder does turn too.
Yeah, which you can see that sticker split there turned out really, really nice to be able to get that to go. That was quite a challenge, but it works. But it works, yeah.
But that is the right tail number. This is the this is the lead plane. Later on, they started the lead planes would get sort of a more fantastical color. So this plane ended up getting painted orange at one point.
Oh wow!
so in the Battle of Coral Sea, which has happened a few months later, this plane was actually orange. That was to identify to the other planes
who's the lead guy. Yep.
Yep.
Very, very cool. Well, Dan, thank you very much for going over this prototype model, explaining a little bit more about it. We'll check in next time.
All right.
Okay, now we're checking in with Mary Wilson because we're taking a look at the Type 89 IGO. What can you tell me about some of the features of this medium tank here?
Yeah, so this was actually kind of like a updated version of one of Dan's old models that was in, it must have been in an instruction book, but I didn't know that when I was building it, which is kind of funny. But some of the features, like up front we've got, like the opening hatches, of course, on the turret, and then also we've got 2 machine guns. So there's one coming off of the front, which is posable, and then we've got this one coming off the back of the turret. It's
Look at that turret.
A very odd angle coming back there.
Gotta watch your back, I suppose, right?
Yeah, and then as someone pointed out on Instagram, they were very excited about these return rollers on the side of the tank. Iconic. Those are just kind of like some of the posable, movable features.
Yeah.
We're also going to get some cool printing. We're printing some of these round bricks back here to be an exhaust pipe, so that's cool. I think that's a new brick we're printing for the first time. We're also just getting some details on here as well, so it should be pretty cool.
All right, wonderful. There it is, the Type 89 available on pre-order right now. Mary, thanks so much for checking in.
Of course.
Okay, now we're checking in with Landon because we got a brand new minifig this week, and we got 3 of them here to show off.
It's kind of unsettling, isn't it?
Look.
So this is the British Royal Marines Desert Storm era. The idea was to make this thing as kind of like a 90s as possible minifigure. I don't know if that's... So I think that mustache sunglass combo was what put that over the edge there for that. Here, I'll get this guy up on this little rotating stand here.
Yeah.
So he's shown here with the additional L85A1 rifle.
He's kind of glowing from that light.
Is he
right
glowing?
now.
Here, I'll get him above higher.
There we go.
Is that better?
Yeah, now we can actually see what's going on there. Perfect.
So, I was blanking earlier on what that rifle was called. So make sure to pick one of those up as well. It's a really awesome bullpup rifle that would go perfectly with these British dudes. So starting at the top, you have that Mark 6 helmet. So that's a brand new 3D printed model right there. And then we got that thing completely decked out with UV printing to kind of simulate that desert DPM camouflage. We opted for a dark tan base on that helmet just because it's a better material, we think. We have that color a bit more accurate compared to the light tan. So that's kind of why we opted for that.
Understood.
The minifigure itself is printed on a regular tan, and then we have that kind of those desert DPM pattern going on there. And I really actually do like that British desert cam. It's a disruptive pattern material, and this is the desert variant.
It's very distinct from what the Americans were wearing. I mean, these guys look like they fought in the same war, but very, very differently.
Yeah, and that camouflage, just in general, it's got kind of this brush stroke, painterly sort of details to it. A direct lineage back to their World War II, where they literally were painting the camouflage on with giant, big mop brushes. So it still kind of continues that legacy. Even now, they have kind of a multicam variant that has some of these sort of brushstroke looks to it. Anyways, this desert dude, he's got the P58 web gear system going on there, and I kind of liked it. It's these huge pouches, sort of like World War II style almost. On the back, there's actually they look kind of the same as the front ones. They are a little bit bigger, and that's what they'd keep their water bottle, their canteen, or their just tool kits. We have a entrenching tool folded up there on the side. I just overall, I mean, as they'd say, this is really a smart looking setup, right?
Yeah.
Finally, there's some body armor. So this is the Desert DPM Combat Body Armor. Sort of, it seemed to be unique to that era. It's like an asymmetrical pocket layout, and then you get some like body armor behind that. Interesting. Check out the photos for that. Interesting body armor as well. Yeah, that's the figure, man. Yeah.
A very, very cool figure. Excellent addition to #Desert Storm bricks. Available right now. Maybe, if there's any still left, make sure to pick up those corresponding brick arms. Landon, thanks for checking in.
You.
Okay, so now we've revealed the models. We've checked in with the people who created them. Now we got a couple of announcements to make. So first things first, remember that mock contest wraps up on the 1st of June. Vietnam theme, got more details. Coming in April, we'll have some restocks, some various kits, etc. that you'll need to be able to do that. And then remember, second Tuesday of every month is the buy one, get one stickers. So if you need to pick up some of those jungle boots,
Yep.
Huey markings.
And again, yeah, the stickers are the best, most economical way to build up a giant army. So,
Yep.
perfect way to get started.
You can do it real quick. Remember, World War Brick 2022 is coming June 10th through 12th of next year, because we had to do the delay once again. But tickets for that are available. We got updated information on the website, so go check that out because we're certainly looking forward to it. Most of the people who purchase weekend passes have held on to them from all years, so the number that is online right now is all that's left for weekend passes. Might be able to get some public exhibition stuff, but if you're thinking you still want to display, get on it because odds are that it'll be sold out well before
Right.
the actual, maybe even the year turns. So it'll be good to move on
I think
that.
we're all super excited for the next World War Brick. We're incredibly impatient, but it will come.
Yeah, I mean we have so much space. That
Yeah.
warehouse is all cleared out and stuff. I mean,
It's probably one of the most fun conventions, I think. Especially if you're into the military, right? It's perfect. It's perfect.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be awesome, and we're excited to have everybody here. Remember, if you don't want to wait for those restocks and pre-orders roll around and it's their release dates and they're sold out, retail stores, they got that curbside pickup. If you don't want to go inside, you can call ahead, ask to see what's there, et cetera, et cetera. Utilize those because they have copies of the kits set aside for them before we even release the batches online, and so they're guaranteed to get some, so make sure to utilize that. And then finally, when we did the site switch, some new stuff has come around. We had the bulk discount on brick arms previously. They kind of like didn't apply to everything. Now it is universal across the board. We got them all back. So it's only on bulk brick arms. It's not on perfect calibers or over molds, etc. We've got some more details on that on the website, so just give that graphic a click. You'll figure out the details. But basically it's to help you save cash when you're trying to build a big army. They're all armed with the same thing. So if you're doing like a rifle brigade,
Right.
etc., this is the way to do that. So that's all I got.
Yeah, that ties in perfectly with those sticker pack BOGO.
Right.
So,
That's a good point.
perfect.
Build your rifle infantry or your whatever and load them up with their weapons and have them go
Have them go.
do your, whatever you need them to do. I don't know. Anything else you want to say?
What have you been working on, Dylan?
Getting this set up.
Getting this set up?
Look at how different we look.
We got a new little setup here. We kind of were working on that yesterday.
It's kind of like a mix of the old and new, like the setup you guys used to have at the other end when the library was different, and then
Yeah.
we mixed it with the GHQ setup, and then we had this thing here, but now we're doing masks, and so we can be a little bit closer together. And we liked standing.
Standing's nice.
was better.
Got a nice little camera angle for these models. Look how nice the minifigures and the kits look with that camera. I think it's an improvement.
We can do a little swing over preview for Mondays.
Oh,
If we want, we got everything lined up. We're going to be opening this mystery pack and then probably giving away the contents, but we want to know what's in there first, so we're going to open it, I guess. But yeah, F-117 and that MB-240.
I haven't opened one of those mystery crates. What are the mystery packs?
Yeah.
I haven't opened one of those before.
Well,
Have you?
no.
Well,
Who's going to do it? Yeah, well, maybe we will do that. Whatever. You'll find out on Monday. Thank you very much for watching.